100 years ago, the dark wizard Hollowell raised an army and tried to conquer the world. He was stopped by an unlikely hero, Sheriff Aesop Stormwood. As Hollowell died, he prophesied that he would be reborn twice more and rise again. Stormwood looked him in the eye and said if Hollowell did, his descendants would strike him down. Sheriff Aesop Stormwood went on to form Stormwood and Associates to make sure they'd be ready for Hollowell's returns, a private detective security and federally licensed magic users agency. 25 years ago, Hollowell returned for the first time, and a Stormwood made good on Aesop's promise. But the third coming of Hollowell may not be so far in the future. But the young Raz Stormwood just might know it's coming, and she plans to be ready. Previously on Stormwood and Associates. You guys rolled into the town of Phoebe to find you can't get out of the town of Phoebe. You were there because Kel managed to translate out of the ancient text that something had been released there. You there also ran into Barrow Macai and N.K. of the ARC team, who were after a bounty of Bill's secret brother, who you discovered in a bar. Also, apparently, whatever's happening in this town is kind of creating illusions of fake people when you go into businesses and establishments. You eventually discovered that you sent some of the NPC characters, the Barrow, N.K, and Pat, went up to the mines to check that out. When the rest of you went to the school, well, after you witnessed buildings getting eaten by something underground, you guys went to the school and found where all the townsfolk were hiding. And when you were on the school property across the street, some sort of illusion of someone who was a mentor figure to you or an adult in your life who you cared about at one point tried to beckon you to cross the street. Some of you thought it was real. Some of you realized immediately it was wrong. And eventually, you ended up fighting a giant worm-like creature that came out of the ground. All right. And it, for some reason, wanted you to leave the school grounds. Oh, yeah, and you did at one point while at the school find where the source of the entire thing was. You discovered that the Wilson estate, I'm pretty sure that was the name I was using. Whatever. The mine owner's estate was the first thing to go, and that it kind of expanded from there. Also Patrick was there to meet someone named Royce. That's why he was in this town. He's escaped from prison. He was trying to get documents so he could escape up to Canada. And right now, you guys just all defeated this worm thing. I mean, not Patrick. He mostly was useless and destroyed some of Kel's jewelry. But all right, so you guys are also you three, Kel, obviously, Barrow Macai, N.K, and Pat are all standing over a pile of ash of the disintegrated worm body. And you are standing outside.
All right. That was not my favorite part of the day.
What would you say is the favorite part of the day? The mysterious ghost people? The inability to escape the town? The fact that this jackass took my pendant and fed it to a frickin' worm? It seemed like the right idea at the time. I don't know.
It was not the right idea. You're just an idiot. All right. Well, maybe now that the worm thing's gone, maybe we can just, leave. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I mean, we could certainly try.
Why would it be that easy?
Roll me a d10.
All right.
Everybody roll me a d10.
6.
7.
6.
All right, I'll roll the other characters. All right. Everybody hears a rumbling in the distance.
God dang it.
I knew that would have been too easy. All right, I tried.
Well, we know where it all started from. So maybe we have to go there and... I don't know.
And why did it make us try to cross the street? Like, we were all standing out in the open.
Yeah, why? It's weird. Like, can't it come over here? Why would everyone be safe here at the school?
Why is it eating only certain buildings and not others?
All right. Yeah.
I don't like not knowing what we're dealing with. I don't like mysteries. I abhor them. That and fish tacos. I'm just saying, if you're gonna say it's a taco, specify that it's not gonna have ground beef in it before you hand it to me. That's just all I'm saying. Taco Tuesday is a sacred thing.
There's more than just ground beef tacos.
I know that, but you gotta tell people.
I mean, they do. They call it a fish taco.
But they don't always.
No. I refuse to believe this. You do not order a taco someplace and it suddenly has fish on it. It always says fish taco.
You'd think so, right? He looks at NK. You'd think so. If someone invites your entire company over to a backyard party and he says there's going to be tacos, that you would specify that it's not going to be ground beef. You would think that, wouldn't you? You know, I'm a pescatarian. You know this? I know, but you're serving for other people. I don't know that. You're going to exclusively produce a menu that caters to your own personal culinary. You guys, I don't... So, do you guys work with these two often? If there's a problem, they can solve it. If you need to find someone, they can do it. Stormwood and Associates is a detective, security, and federally licensed magic users agency. If you need help, they'll be there. But don't get in their way, or else you'll get caught in the eye of the storm.
This is not a normal thing.
I mean, maybe you could have provided meatless crumbles?
I have no idea what a meatless crumble is.
It's nothing.
It's a crumble. It's not made of meat.
What?
It's like ground beef, but without the ground beef.
That sounds like an evil plan. Destined to destroy the universe.
Dude. Okay, so...
I'm going to try to do some research. I'm going to try to figure out if there's some sort of, I don't know, ley line or protective barrier on this side of the street. You guys talk about Mexican food or whatever.
All right. Are you going to do... So what are you going to do there, Nick?
I'm going to use my research skill.
Unfortunately, research doesn't work that way. Research involves books and internet and looking up things. Now, there is a character here who can look for clues.
I will totally investigate.
All right. Raz, you're going to totally investigate.
Investigate the crap out of that shit.
All right, so where are you going to investigate?
Can I investigate? Because did the worm...
The worm stayed on the opposite side of the street from the school. Like the school.
Yeah, like
property,
it didn't even come on. It didn't even come onto the street, correct?
It was kind of circling under the street, but it didn't come onto the actual like side of the street that the school's on.
So yeah, I'd like to
all right.
Investigate the school's side, I guess, first.
All right. So to kind of what you eventually find as you look around the edge of like the block where the school is, you see kind of you see some symbols painted in spray paint.
Oh.
Like someone spray painted some stuff on the ground.
I found some symbols. Do I recognize them at all?
You don't.
Okay.
But you do have, some mages here.
Yeah.
So if you want to point it out to them.
I will. Hey, Bill.
Yeah.
I found some symbols. Do you recognize them at all?
Let's take a look.
All right, Bill. Do you carry any spell books or anything with you when you travel?
I have a book of my basic spells.
Okay.
I know that.
All right. So what I'm going to say is that you can tell that this is a magical sigil. It's not a spell that you're particularly familiar with. If you were to write it down, obviously without casting any magic on what you write down, so you don't power it up. You'd be able to later, if you got to a library, be able to research that symbol.
Okie dokie. I guess I will look at this spell then. I'm gonna just write it. I'm just gonna take out this napkin and kind of draw it down, because this is some real magic right here. Not the kind of stuff that I would just know off the top of my head, though.
Patrick kind of saunters over to where you are, Bill. Yeah, I don't know this one, but it looks like something out of the Penske school. You think? You have no idea what he's talking about.
You're probably just making that up.
No, man, Penske, the 15th century spellcaster, worked at Oxford.
Oh, right. That Penske. I definitely knew who you were talking about.
Yeah. Mom had that whole book on his stuff, in the upstairs bookshelf.
Oh, yeah. How would I have known? How could I have forgotten about that book in that room that I wasn't allowed to go into? Good point.
I don't even know what to do with you right now. He just kind of walks off. I know what to do with you. Feed you a worm so you can go down there and try to find out what happened to my pendant. There's a hole in the ground right there. Go climb in.
Oh, glad you've at least finally seeing the light on some things. Anyway.
I was I'm sorry. That is the only thing I had of my friggin' parents. I'm gonna Do you think if I killed your brother, it would make your life more or less awkward?
Gonna go with, wow, I've never actually considered what would make my life more awkward, actually. Huh. I might have to think that one over, actually.
Okay. So, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to find anything in the library here at the school. We could possibly talk to whoever's inside and see if there are any majorer people in there who know about the sigil.
Might be worth it. I'm up for that.
Okay, so you guys are going to go back into the school.
It is really weird that that the school is just unharmed during all this.
I want to keep watch outside.
Okay.
Well, we can definitely go back to the school. I think that's the safest thing to do right now, because that means not going outside of whatever barrier this is. We could go, if we don't find anything there, we can head to the actual library and also check on the way of the buildings that haven't been destroyed and see if they have the symbols as well.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Okay. So you guys are going to go into the school first?
Yes.
All right. N.K and Barrow are going to stay outside with Babbitt to keep watch.
Okay.
So I don't have to run so many characters when we go indoors.
Yep.
All right. So you guys walk back into the darkened building. Are you gonna? So I think that one of the people told you that everyone was huddled in the gym, right?
Yes.
All right.
Yep.
So eventually you make it to the gym, and there are a lot of people in there. It's just, it's not the whole town population, but it's a large percentage of it.
Cool.
And people just kind of look at you, pause for a moment when you walk in, and then go back. Because obviously you've talked to a couple of people since you've been here. Mm-hmm. So they're aware that other people are in the town now. You kind of see there's kind of a makeshift, a bunch of cots, a bunch of, people have dragged mattresses in here and have been, they camped out the night before. So looks like they're getting ready to camp for another night.
Okay. We talked to a lady before. I'm wondering if I can see her there now.
You can't see her, but also you know that she said she was going to go do rounds and check doors and things like that. So she's not in the gym right now. But there are plenty of other people.
Okay. Then I will start asking around if there are any magic users.
All right.
Or anybody who knows magic.
All right. There's a lot of people in here. There are a lot of goblins, a lot of dwarves, a lot of humans. Some kind of a general mishmash of goblins, dwarves, and humans kind of in here. So there's a couple of dwarves kind of talking to each other, kind of near next to the entrance. Do you want to go talk to one of them?
Sure.
All right. Dwarf, he's probably about 4 feet tall, long gray beard, looks a little bit older. Looks up and says, "Hey, what's up?"
Hey, I'm just wondering, do you know anybody who knows anything magic around in here?
In a town like this? None of us went to college.
I was afraid of that.
I mean, maybe some of the teachers might know something, but I mean, if you could get a job as a mage, you don't live here.
Right. Well, thanks for your help.
Yeah, no problem.
And I go looking for teacherly people.
Okay. All right. So roll me a d10.
9.
All right. So you see a guy human in his 30s, sweater vest, kind of standing around. He looks like he could be a teacher.
Awesome. I go talk to him.
Hi.
Hi, I'm looking for anybody who knows anything about magic.
He's kind of blank expression. I don't know anyone who lives in town who does. I mean, like the Wilsons were, kind of private. They kept to themselves.
But they knew something? They knew magic?
Well, I mean, who knows what they knew for sure? But yeah, no, they probably knew some magic.
Okay.
It's I think their eldest daughter went to college for it, but like she's not in town anymore. She moved away. But I think Old Man Wilson. I think he had some magic training before he took over the family mine. But like I don't know, they kind of keep to themselves. They kind of stay away from the rest of us. The dirty poor, standard capitalist bullshit.
Yeah, I get you.
We need to rise up and seek the means of production. That is exactly what I keep telling my students, which is why they fired me 6 weeks ago. But, I think in these trying times, it's easily demonstrated that when you keep a resource like magic only in the hands of the elites, you end up screwing over the common person. This guy gets it. He points at Pat. Pat
He points at who?
Pat. Pat nods.
What?
Thank you very much. Could we find them? Are they holed up in their mansion?
I don't even know if the mansion still exists.
Yeah.
I mean, like this whole thing, like it started from there. I mean, you could go up to the gates, but I don't know if I think the walls might be gone.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the information anyways. Yeah. I move on. I'm not
all right, roll
staying to chit-chat with lots.
Everybody roll me a d10.
5.
8.
All right, so Babbitt, you don't notice anything, but you two notice that there's kind of this guy in the corner kind of watching you.
Oh, that's why I didn't notice.
He's kind of...
I'm outside.
Oh, yeah. Well, good. That would have been an amazing roll. I'm just saying, Babbitt, if you'd gotten a 10, I might have given you some intuition. Yeah, no, there's this guy in the corner who's kind of been keeping an eye on you guys since you walked into the gym. He's kind of a scruffy looking guy in his 40s. Longer coat, like not dirty, like his clothes are clean, but he's a little disheveled still.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Yeah.
I go over to him.
I follow suit.
Hey, see you eyeballing us. What's your story?
He's just not talking. It's he's just staring at you.
Hi. Why?
Who are you?
I'm Raz Stormwood. And this is my associate Bill.
Of course you
Who may I have the pleasure of speaking with?
I never said I was going to tell you my name.
That's
What
just
are you gonna
common
tell us?
courtesy.
Pat kind of rolls his eyes. I'm Patrick Carpart. Yeah, baba. He's way smoother than I am, apparently. All right, let's try that again. I'm Patrick Carpathia. Pleased to meet you. Puts out his hand. The guy sitting down by his wife a little more. I'm Royce. These guys have really similar voices, and I'm really sorry about that. I did not mean to do this. Let's see if I can. I'm Royce. There, it's a little different. Patrick kind of goes, You're the frickin' Royce guy? You're supposed to have my ID?
What?
Yeah, I'm trying to get to Canada.
Why are you trying to get? Oh, right, because you're a felon.
Ixnay, Anye, Ellingte, Eeplepe, Aboutnay, they,
We get it.
Unviction K.
I hate you so much.
Royce guy kind of looks up. I didn't know you were multilingual. I would have made you Mexican.
Bill fights the urge to slam his head into the nearest wall.
Well, I mean, to me personally, this guy's useless. So
So do you have my papers? I gotta give a different voice to Royce. I'm so sorry about this. All right, yeah, I got your papers. Sure, that'll be Royce now. Sorry about changing the voice, but I accidentally gave him the same voice. I have a limited number of voices as a GM. I can only do so many things, and I am playing so many characters.
Acceptable.
All right. I want my papers then. I mean, come on, man. Do you have the money? Yeah, I got the... Yes, I have the money. All right, and they have a little exchange, and... Bill, roll me a D10.
Yep. 7.
All right, yeah, no, absolutely nothing appears out of the ordinary to you. Yeah, they do a little exchange. Pat hands over some money, gets some documents, puts it in his pocket. Like she said, all right, now let's ditch those two bozos outside and get out of this town somehow. That part of the plan you got to work on, brother.
Are you guys traveling together? Is that what's going on? I'm just curious.
No, what do you... Who am I traveling with? This guy? No, this guy I got hooked up with by my prison cellmate. He was gonna get me papers so I can get over the border. This
Great.
was a business transaction. Why weren't you
Yeah.
at the bar? I was at the bar because there was this worm thing and I ran. Dude, chill. I got you your stuff. This is poor business and I will not be rating you well on Yelp. I'm not on Yelp.
Why would he be on Yelp?
I don't know. Everything's on Yelp.
You're an idiot.
Bill, how about you and I go check the school library and see if they have anything?
Oh, good. Can't wait. Small town school library. Okay, we can check, but considering the people we've run into so far, I think Nancy Drew might be a little too advanced for most of them.
Yeah. Still, I'd rather check, and then if we don't find it here, we might as well check the regular library.
Fine.
All right, you guys gonna go to the school library?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, you get to the school library, and I'm just gonna spare you any sort of rolls or anything like that because you're in a school library. Magical knowledge is not going to be given to. This is a grade school through high school. Like this is magical knowledge is not going to be given to fourth graders. It's
cool. Okay, I guess we gotta go to the big library.
Oh, hey, they have manga. My school didn't have manga. Oh, sorry.
all right. So you guys are gonna head back outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So before you guys get there, Babbitt, roll me a d10.
7.
All right, Babbitt. As you are sitting at the school, you notice a house down the street from the school drop into the ground dramatically after a bit of rumbling.
Well, there goes another one.
Yep. All right, so you guys are outside. You run into the rest of the crew.
Hey, crew.
Hey, you find out anything?
No.
I don't know. Found out why Dingus over here was hanging out in this podunk town.
Oh, yeah, we found...
I directly told you why I was here when you got here.
I hate you so much.
I, explicitly said I was waiting for a guy named Royce at the bar who never showed.
Well, we found Royce, so...
And he is a useless piece of garbage.
Yep.
Not unlike Mr. Carpathia here. Not the other Mr. Carpathia, but this Mr. Carpathia.
You know, you not calling me a useless piece of garbage might be the nicest thing you've ever said to me.
Well, I mean, you're not completely useless. I'm still curious as to why Raz hired you, because to this day, I do not understand. We could have hired many other wizards, but you have done a job well enough to deserve the small salary we pay you, so that's okay.
You know what? I'm gonna take it.
All right. So you guys gonna walk to the library?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Isn't that where you guys left your car?
I do not recall.
The last time we referenced it, it was behind the library.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's where all the cars are. All right. All right. So everybody roll me a d10.
2.
9.
1.
All right. Everybody but Bill, because the difficulty was a 2. Here's some really solid rumbling on the way to the library, and literally a house across the street while you're walking disappears into the ground.
Cool.
Oh.
I just keep going.
Do I see any more of the glyphs on the sigils around the library or anything?
No.
It's just the school.
Just the school is the only place you've seen them. So when you get to the library, you're going to look for them, and yeah, you don't find them.
Okay. Then I guess we got to go inside and do some research.
All right. So you guys enter the library. Again, this is a large brick building. as you go inside, there are only thin windows across the top. So, like, there are windows in the building, but they're thin windows across the top, so it's dimly lit. And you guys are going to have to navigate through the darkened library to get to the section with magical information, because this library does have a magical information section. And so, but everybody roll me a d10 to see if you fall into anything.
6.
3.
I didn't hear what you said, Kyle.
2.
2. You know, Kyle, Babbitt is a goblin. He's supposed to be the most well adapted to the dark, but you do manage to somehow like walk smack dab into the study carrel at one point.
Yeah.
But all right. You eventually make your way to the section. All right, so we have 3 characters here with the research skill. We have N.K. We have 4 because Patrick has it too. So between Patrick, Bill, N.K, and Kel, they all have the research skill.
Is N.K with Barrow Macai though?
Barrow Macai, they just weren't in the school because they were waiting outside with Babbitt. So they're with you right now. Everybody's together.
Acceptable.
All right, Barrow Macai is going to go actually disappear for a little while and keep a watch. Because he's a ninja. And he can be invisible. So you kind of just watch Barrow Macai like sink into the shadow. He goes, "I'll be right back. I'm going to make sure no one follows." And he just kind of disappears into the shadows. You can't see him anymore.
Like Homer Simpson, like...
Yeah, no, it's like slowly backs up and is engulfed by darkness. And yeah. All right, so you guys are going to research the sigils. Are you going to research anything else while you're here?
I guess I could like look into the giant worms and anything like related to like the summoning of giant worms, etc.
Okay. So, the first thing you need to do is, so the sigil is, we get a nice little montage of 4 characters digging through books in the dark. And, Bill, roll me a d10. I'm just going to determine who discovers this.
4.
All right. Pat pulls out a book and just holds up the book open into the air. He got a 5, you got a 4. He won. See, it's Penske's protective circle. It's no beast of evil may enter the space that these sigils surround. Yeah.
All right.
It's not a super common spell, because, you know, who lives in a place where that happens all that often, right? But it's not a super hard spell. You just got to do the sigils and put a blessing, and you can protect the space for a while. You have to keep recharging it, though, every, day.
So someone over there knows how to charge it. Or is charging it.
Well, that would be the implication, yes.
I'm trying to elucidate.
Pat takes out a flask, screws off the top, takes a swig. I can tell that, man, and I appreciate that about you.
I need a moment. Bill stomps off.
Okay. Anybody could go follow Bill?
It's fine. I don't need anyone with me. I can get my my emotional issues figured out by myself, like I always do. Alone.
I believe him.
NK rolls her eyes, gets up, follows after Bill. Are you okay?
I'm dealing with... This has been a weird day. I didn't think I was going to be going to some tremors-infested small town where I would run into my douchebag brother, who I haven't talked to in, I don't know, a very, very long time. And on top of that, I feel like he's making me look like an idiot in front of my workmates who already think I'm a liability. So, yeah, I don't know.
NK just kind of looks at you, goes into the messenger bag she's been carrying, where her laptop is, pulls out a bag of gummy worms, opens it up, offers you a gummy worm.
I do like gummy worms. Plus, being able to shred one of these kind of makes me feel better about feeling helpless earlier.
They're pretty good. Got them at the gas station.
Do you guys spend a lot of time at gas stations? Barrow seems like a gas station kind of guy.
Well, I mean, we do a lot of these bounty jobs to, like, you grab a couple of high price bounties and you can pay for a lot of stuff. I mean, you know how much, like, commercial real estate in San Ricardo is just incredibly expensive. Like, keeping the lights on is just... I keep saying that we should, like, move the office, like, and go somewhere else. But, it's where we are. She eats gummy worm.
All right, let's get back to figuring out how to get out of this. I am so ready to not be around my brother or worms or anything for a while.
Well,
Thank you.
If it makes you feel any better, I fully intend on making sure your brother is delivered to the hand of the authorities so I can, buy food.
I sincerely endorse that.
Okay. Guys, go back.
All right.
All right. So you guys going to do more research while you're here?
Yes.
All right. So we're going to research the worm. All right. We have a nice montage of book reading and page showing and someone pointing at the wrong thing, someone pointing at why it's wrong. All fun and exciting. So, yeah, Bill, you're the only PC currently actually reading books, so roll me a d10.
All right. Seriously? 2.
Okay.
This is not my episode.
It kind of is, though. So I'm going to say Kel finds it, because I just don't want to make you keep having Pat find everything. Hey, look at this thing. Pull out the book, and it's a book that is not in English. It is not in a language you really recognize, but it's got an illustration of effectively the thing you just saw.
Oh, hey.
Now, I don't know if you guys can read this, but this is I don't know how to translate half of this shit. All right, so it's some sort of worm monster. There's a bunch of them. They are summoned by some dark occult ceremony in service to... It says in service of the Dark Lord, but I don't know who that... Like, this book, this text is, like... It's not about Hollowell. Because... this text is from like 1800, and he wasn't around for another, until like the middle of the century, right? Like, he wasn't, like, Aesop Stormwood didn't, like, stop him until, like, 50 years after that, after this book was published, right?
Sounds right.
So,
Right.
I don't know who this Dark Lord is in the text, but whatever this thing was summoned somehow using some sort of occult ritual. It is the inescapable worm, I think is how you translate it.
Okay. Pre-Hollowell Lovecraftian evil. That's still deal withable, right?
So it looks like we have to, like, these things only stay in our world as long as the thing that summoned them still exists.
We have to go find the thing that summoned.
Well, that sounds doable. We just have to figure out what summoned them. Or who summoned them.
I'd sure as hell like to know why.
Oh yeah, I'd be happy to give them a piece of my mind.
All right. So you guys have this piece of information. What are you going to do?
All right. Well, where can we find out, how are we going to figure out who summoned them? I mean,
Can we find a book about the history of the family here?
Oh, the Wilson family?
ooh,
Yeah, I'd like to know more about them.
All right.
good call, boss.
All right. So you'd probably have to go to a different part of the library, but I'm sure that there is some sort of local lore section that would talk about that. So first you gotta navigate the building. So everybody roll me a d10.
9.
4.
All right, y'all make it fine. Really, you would have only had a problem if you'd rolled a 1. All right, so you got everyone else also passed the rolls. All right, so you guys make it to the family lore section, and so our 4 people with research are all going to research. So roll me a d10, Bill.
No whammies, no whammies. 6.
Okay, I gotta roll off between these two. Pat finds a book.
Of course he did.
I rolled for everybody else, and you rolled a 6, but everyone else either rolled like a 7, or like one of them rolled lower than you, but the other two, but Kel and Pat both rolled 7s, and so I had to roll off between those two to figure out which one actually found it, and it was Pat. So Patrick finds, after you guys research for a little bit, finds a book about the Wilson family. It says here the Wilson family's been here since the founding of the town in the late 1860s. And then they built the mine, they built the town. There's not a lot here. They're just a bunch of rich people, it looks like. He hands you the book. And yeah, if as you look at it, Bill, it's pretty standard, company town shenanigans. Nothing, there's a lot of bad stuff about them. Like, there's nothing really great, but not really anything that just, differentiates them from any other, awful capitalist people taking advantage of a system that greatly benefits the upper classes.
Great.
Probably lots of abuse of power in the early 20th century, and then more subtle legal abuses of power in the later 20th century. You know, the basics.
Well, these sound like they're wonderful people. All right. Well, what else can we do?
But you do know where the estate is.
Should we check that out then?
I guess that'd be next step.
I mean, we didn't look too closely, but it was leveled when we went by it. Oh, sorry, yeah. Barrow Macai, who has been like God this whole time. Just a voice from the darkness that he is standing right behind Babbitt.
Ah!
N.K. is the only person not mildly surprised, although Raz doesn't show it. I mean, we could go back up there. We didn't look like super closely.
Yeah, we didn't know to at the time, so...
There's definitely no building, correct?
Yeah, you were told that it was flattened. You were told that it was flattened by the teacher when when you guys were at the school, the woman teacher.
Let's go check out the property.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys gonna walk or you gonna drive? My name is Trey Dorn, and I was your GM for this session, and I've also played Kel, and, well, everybody else except for Raz Stormwood, who is played by Gen Proc, Babbitt, who is played by Kyle Johnson, and Bill, who was played by Nick Izumi. Stormwood and Associates is a production of Nerd and Tie. You can find more information at nerdandtie.com. Along with our social media is at Twitter, Nerd and Tie, Tumblr, Nerd and Tie, Facebook /Nerd and Tie. And remember, you can subscribe to this with any place that has podcasts. Probably will be on iTunes by the time it's released, maybe. Who knows? But the RSS feed's always out there. And to be continued.